All right, my next guest picked up his amateur debut victory with a split decision win over Charles Keenan, and of course, is Kyle Hill on the show. Kyle, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Well, not as good as you because you just had your debut fight as an amateur and you got the win. So I got to imagine you're feeling pretty good. How did you celebrate afterwards?
Yeah. Well, we went to that after party and just hung out, played some pool. It's great. Feels good down to Florida getting the win.
Absolutely, and you had a whole bunch of your team there with you. Three fighters from Nostos competing on that card. Let's just talk about this fight and leading up to it. With your amateur debut, although you've been training for a while, how are the nerves leading into this fight?
I felt pretty calm in the locker room. Walking out, seeing the crowd, it was a little nerve-wracking. But I went out there and did it.
As far as the crowd goes, was it half full, a quarter full? Kind of run me through that.
It didn't look quarter full to me. It looked pretty sold out, honestly. I thought it was going to be, half full because of COVID. I think New England's just a little harder on the COVID restrictions than Florida.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's 100% true. All right, so this game plan going into this matchup, I believe your opponent was a Division I wrestler. What was the game plan heading into this one?
Um, we went over a lot of work with the jab teep and working the low kicks. I was trying to work the low kicks a lot, just to hopefully slow him down on the shots against the cage. But he got me down a few times. Took me for a ride, got right back up, and kept striking with him.
What were some of those in-fight adjustments that Devin and your team wanted you to make in this fight?
I knew they were calling for to throw my hands more, let the hands go, because I wasn't like setting up my kicks as I should have. If I set up my kicks a little bit more, I think that high kick would have been there. I hit him with a few of those, but maybe if I set it up more, he would have had his hands down and I would have got the finish.
And anytime it goes to the judges nowadays, you got to hold your breath because you just never really know which way they're going to go. How confident did you feel that you got the job done?
I had no clue on that decision. My coaches, Nick and Devin, they were saying, you got at least one. The third round, I think, is what decided it. The first round was pretty close. I think I got the first. The second, I think he took just because of the takedowns. And then the third, I think at the end there, when I started pouring it on a bit, is where I took it.
Did you experience any kind of adrenaline dump at all, leading into this fight or early on in the round? Can you kind of point towards any situations where maybe you felt kind of out of sorts at all?
No, that first round, maybe like halfway through when he was putting me on the fence a lot and I was trying to dig for that underhook to get off the cage, I was pretty shot there. I felt my cardio was there. The adrenaline dump I definitely felt in that first round, though.
And I believe you're the youngest fighter to ever compete out of Nostos here. So that's quite an honor. You've been training since you were 15 years old. You're to 20 now. Just run me through those emotions, all the hard work that you've put in actually to make your amateur debut and to get your hand raised.
It's a great feeling being able to represent such a good gym and seeing the other guys perform as well, like Kyle with the 5-second KO, Nate with the 3-round war, and then I had one as well. And being the youngest fighter at Nostos, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like I'm that young, 19, but feels good.
So with your other teammates down there, run me through who fought first and so on. Did you get a chance to actually kick back and watch your other teammates compete, or were you fighting a little bit later?
So Kyle went out first. It was Kyle's fight and then another one and then mine. So we didn't have much time in between for my warm-up, but Kyle went out there. He was like, shook hands. He went out there. 5 seconds later, like a minute later, he comes back and hyped up, screaming. It's like 5 seconds done. And my warm-up was a little short because of that, but I can't complain. He got the job done. Then it was mine, then it was Nate's.
So did both you and Kyle get to kick back and watch Nate's together?
Yeah, we did. I walked out there and I saw my mom and I got to watch that with her. I think he was watching it with his mom too. It was the first time he's seen his mom in a while and the first time I saw my mom in a bit too.
So all three of you guys, all from the same gym, go down to Florida and pick up wins. That's pretty special, man. And just going down to Florida in general, kind of like a bonding, like team trip. Just what did that mean to you guys? Did it bring you closer together here, moving forward?
Oh, it definitely brought us three closer together and the coaches as well. I mean, I barely knew Kyle before this camp really. Like maybe like a month out, Deb was talking to us about like trying to get on a card or something, and he was like urging us to work together, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll work with this kid. I don't really know who he is, but we got the same name, so we got that going for us. And I've known Nate for a while. He's been at the gym for a hot minute, so.
Yeah. I got to ask you about your coaches, obviously Devin and Carol. I've known them for a while. I've been interviewing Devin in particular for years now. I mean, look, he's made it to the highest of levels, UFC, Bellator. Now he's retired and he's focusing more on the coaching. Like, what does it mean to you to have someone that's teaching you that has made it to the highest of levels? Because I'm sure that's ultimately your end goal.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's there, hell yeah, I'll take it. It means a lot for him to just be coaching us, and like, now that he's taken a step back from the sport, like he's invested a bunch of time into making us better fighters. And it means a lot. It puts some pressure on us, but I think it's the good kind of pressure.
How is he as a coach? Is he hard on you sometimes, or does he, just run me through that? Because some coaches can be more disciplinarians. He seems like maybe he'd give you more confidence than being like a drill sergeant type.
Yeah, he's a little bit more laid back, but he coaches us in the right directions. He gives us some hard rounds, I'll tell you that, especially on the pads. He's not nice to us. He beats us down, but that's the type of fight cardio we need to keep it pushing. But he's pretty laid back, but he makes us work, that's for sure.
So tell me about your day-to-day life. Are you in school right now? Are you working? How do you balance that with training?
Yeah, I'm in school right now. I'm doing some schoolwork. I'm not working at the moment, but hoping to get back in there pretty soon. There's a card June 5th that, my coach was talking about, so maybe we'll see what goes from there.
Is this back down in Florida?
Yeah, it's back down in Florida, yeah.
Have you heard anything about, NEF starting back up again? Because I'm sure it'd be a lot easier for you guys to fight here in New England if possible.
Yeah, I would way rather fight here in New England than having to travel down to Florida. If NEF opens up, I'm definitely open to giving that a shot too. Any other promotions too.
Does anyone come to mind? Like, have you seen any fighters here regionally that you'd like to test yourself against?
Nope. I don't know any. I'm ready for it though. A D1 wrestler, it's a hard one to do, and he slammed me a few times and didn't feel good, but I mean, whoever, really.
How big are you? What's the weight cut like for you?
For this one, like a month out, I was probably sitting around like 200, get to 170. I was a little fat. Got it done just, eating more healthy, and got to 170.
So do you feel like welterweight is the weight class for you moving forward? Or
yeah.
Okay, so you wouldn't even dial in your diet even more and potentially cut to lightweight?
No, lightweight's way too much for me, man. I stand at like 6'1". I think welterweight would just be too much. I mean, Devin and I are similar, but I think that lightweight would be too hard on my body.
Sure. What's your reach like?
I don't know. I think it's like a little bit, like an inch off from my height, like a little bit longer.
Okay. And just tell me, man, like, how did you get into MMA? Give me that backstory. Like, what drove you into training this sport and, wanting to pursue this for a career?
Yeah, I mean, I was around 15, and I'd seen some like UFC stuff with, my stepdad and my mom, and they were always like super scared of the sport, and I was just like, oh, it looks so cool, and I wanted to give it a shot. So around 15, I was turning 16. I just walked into Nostos. So I was like, I want to give this a shot. And I started with jiu-jitsu and went from there.
Yeah, I know a lot of fighters that I've spoken to, some people go in there and they don't really have intentions of wanting to be a fighter, but it just kind of turns out that way. Can you just talk to what it's done for your confidence just as a human being?
Yeah, as a human being, it's made me a hell of a lot more confident. Like, I was a pretty shy kid at 15. I didn't really talk too much. And I mean, I think that's why the coaches gave me the Silent Hill name. I don't know. I was a shy kid, and the confidence that you get from just training every day and getting your ass beat and then going in there and starting to get those guys, it feels good.
Yeah. Are you single? Has this helped you out with the ladies as well?
I'm still having lady problems, man. I'm only 19, I'm not. No, I'm single. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll give that time. You got plenty of time here.
Yeah.
As far as what's next, you said June, potentially down in Florida, but you want to stay active, right? So how many times would you like to compete this year if you had your chance?
It'd be cool to get like at least 3 or 4. But I'm not, COVID, I'm not predicting anything. Whatever happens, happens. If jiu-jitsu competitions come up too, that'd be cool. I know there's one in March for good fights, so I'll definitely stay active regardless.
Yeah, well, again, congratulations on winning your amateur debut. It seemed like it was over a tough opponent, so that's a nice feather in your cap right there. Before I let you go, man, tell everyone where they can follow you on social media so they can keep track of your career unfolding.
Yeah, on Facebook it's just Kyle Hill, and then on Instagram it's K_Hill175. Yeah, thanks for talking to me, man. That was great.
Hey, I appreciate it. Let's do it again soon.
Hell yeah.